All right, good morning, afternoon, whatever it is when you are watching this. Let's cover everything. Just hello, everyone. And we are going to be working on some art, and I guess it's using kind of a cubism type style because we're going to be chopping up what it is we draw and then coloring it in. Cubism was created by Mr. Pablo Picasso. He is created one of the founders of Cubism, but he's going to be the one that most children are familiar with. He's kind of a crazy little man. Spent his life living over in Spain, and he is rather fun to look up. So we're going to use this style of coloring and make a rather colorful artwork using just your initials. Now, for some students, they might be able to use the block letter style of writing. Some students have not yet mastered it. If they are probably younger than third grade, not so much. They might know how to draw just their letters, the first two letters, the first letter of their first name, first letter of their last name, and parents, you may be able to help them create a block or a bubble style letter. Students who are a little bit older should know how to do that. Sometimes my students do still have issues getting it to cover the entire paper. They still like to draw small, no matter how much I ask them, make sure it gets on the whole paper. It's just how they kind of, their minds work at this point. Some of them are really good with their spatial formatting, and some of them just, they're not. And that's okay. For some of them, it just takes some time to develop. And for some of us, we're able to think that way right away. So this is going to help them work on their space, and because you're going to be coloring everything, just getting the letters that big might be what they need help with. So this is the finished product, and you see I've got my two initials on there, and then I've just drawn a total of 4 lines. And even though it has created all kinds of blocks and areas for me to color and a whole lot of interest, you just kind of don't know what you want to look at first as far as what you're seeing. But it's much simpler than it looks to go about finishing, and it gives them something they want to hang it on their door, to let everyone know whose room it is. So this is how I went about creating it. These are more of a block style because they are squared off and they have the corners. A bubble style is going to be much rounder in the letters. There's not going to be the corners that you see and as much as of the straight edges. So I'll actually do a bubble style as I draw right now, so you can kind of see the difference. Not everybody knows the different kinds of fonts as people describe them and talk about them. And not everybody is always good at drawing the larger letters to create them. So one of the easiest ways that I tell my students to do it is real nice and big. We want to draw our initials. So the first letter of my name is a C. So nice and big, I'm going to draw this in my paper. And then my M. So because I'm going to draw a bubble letter, my M might look a little strange. So I'm going to draw my M. Almost looks like a McDonald's M. This is how I'm starting my letters. Now to create them so that I have something to draw in the center of them, so they've got some meat to them, shall we say, I'm going to create my letter on the inside, almost a mirror of my C. See how I do that? Oh. And then I'm going to connect it, and with a round edge, just like that. And for the M, we're going to do something very similar. We're going to create a smaller M in the middle. And then once again, we're going to connect with just a little round edge. And that's how we do it. I know I made that seem really simple, but I have been teaching for 17 years. So that's what I tell the kids. It doesn't really matter. I mean, if you screw it up, you screw it up. You tried. And we accept our mistakes and we draw and we keep on going. Um, Fonts are not my first forte in art. So when they do make mistakes, I tell them not to worry about it. That is not what I have done in my career, making a name for myself. I haven't even made a name for myself. So, as long as you're doing the best you can, guys, we are all creating art still, and it's just going to be pretty amazing when you're done. Sometimes you have to see the end product to realize that you've made something really, really incredible. So we're going to now break it up using our 4 lines. And what I tried to do was make them, I didn't want just 2 vertical and 2 horizontal lines. I tried to diagonal them a little bit to give it a little bit more interest. And so when I did my horizontals, one is going to shoot up just a touch to the one side and then down just a bit. So we are going to diagonal it just a little bit. It doesn't have to be a huge sharp diagonal line, just a real gentle diagonal. And then we're going to do the same for the vertical lines. Just your starting point could be anywhere. It does not matter where it is. But it's going to be, and I made mine go in opposite directions. Yours can flow in the same general direction. They can parallel each other. It does not matter. Does not have to look exactly the same as mine. I mean, just because I'm the teacher does not mean they have to mimic each other. It's fine. Yours can have its own little flair. So once you're done, you're ready to color. For this, I chose to use crayons because I'm going to get more choices in my box of 24. This is what I had laying around. Some of you might have the big box of 96 crayons. If you do, that's amazing because my box of 96 is sitting at school at my desk. So I am jealous of you if that's what you have sitting at your house right now. Some of you might have the box of 8. And you know what? If you do, you can still make a whole bunch of crayons. Go back and check out my 100 color challenge video because you can make tons and tons of colors just by mixing them. All you need is 8 colors. It doesn't matter. And so using our crayons, I'm able to get more colors, generally speaking. The trick is I tried very hard not to put the same colors near each other. So I'm trying to separate them as best I can. So you see I've got my purples kind of split up. I've got my blues away from each other, my yellow. And this allows your eye to kind of flow throughout the paper. And there's my lime green far apart. And, this way you get a little bit more interest in your paper and a little bit more movement in it. You want your eye to move throughout your artwork so that your eye is not stuck in just the center. You don't want your brightest colors to be in the center and then have a bunch of dark colors around it because no one's going to pay attention to what you've got going on there. You want to kind of spread out your bright colors, your dark colors, so that your eye has continuous movement around your paper. So, and if you are someone that has just a couple colors, remember you can mix, there's red and blue, just by simply taking 2 colors. And if you put one color nice and light, the lighter you color, the easier your colors are usually going to mix. You're going to have much more success. My kids love to sit and press as hard as they can. And then they wonder why they don't always have a lot of success for color mixing. And then you can take another color, whatever it happens to be, and just kind of mix right over it. And you're going to get a different color. I think they're under the impression, though, that it's going to look exactly like I used red and blue. Like, the color purple. No, that's not quite how it works. It's not a paint, but you can get yourself a few more colors. So go forth, have fun. I hope you guys really enjoy this project. It is quite relaxing to just kind of sit here and fill in your different spots and get something different. So I hope you guys enjoy it. And if you did, let me know in the comments. If you want to see more things of what I'm going to do, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And I'm going to continue to try and do more projects with you guys. Hopefully entertain you. I don't know. But we're going to keep doing whatever we can do over here. And I will see you guys the next time. Bye.